Well, 6:30 here in Les Sables d'Olonne. This is our Vendée Flash news this evening. Boxing Day, and Alan Rura in having one or two little problems with his keel rams. A keel ram failure has occurred as it did on November the 28th on the Atlantic stage. He managed to repair then, but things not looking quite as good for him at the moment. His team are in collaboration with Alan just now, and he's looking for a solution. He is just 550 miles south west of New Zealand, South Island, New Zealand. And to say he is looking at his options just now. I think his motivation not helped by having Pip Hare about 150 miles behind him on his previous boat, but that's the situation with Alan Rura. Meantime, the news at the top of the table, well, Yannick Bestaven is doing reasonably well just now. He's just over 30 miles ahead of Charlie Dallin, but still progress very slow. Particularly for the peloton behind, who are less than 10 knots in the monster high pressure system. It's ridging and still causing problems. Let's look at the rankings then this evening with, as I say, Yannick Bestaven leading by 27.5 miles over Charlie Dallin, and a gap of 250 miles back to Jean Le Cam. Le Cam is only a mile ahead of Boris Herrmann, the two still extremely close together. Damien Seguin about 26 miles behind on Groupe Apicil in 5th. Isabel Josch up to 6th on MACSF. Maxime Sorel, now remember he was way behind in 10th. He's up to 7th just now, doing 5.8 knots and very much in the match. Giancarlo Padotti's birthday today in 8th. Doing kind of fleet speed just now in that group. Thomas Rion dropped to 9th, but he's going 6 knots just now. Benjamin Dutroux, the local Les Sables d'Olonne and Vendée skipper, he's 10th just now. And Louis Burton in 11th. Now Louis is 408 miles behind the leader. When he left Macquarie Island after making his repairs, he was over 850 miles behind the leader. So Louis made up over 450 miles and is only about 40 miles behind Dutroux. So good work from Louis Burton. Further down the table, well, Alan Rura is actually still doing 12.7 knots just now, but he obviously has his problems that he needs to sort out. Pip Hare, as I said, about 150 miles behind Rura, and Pip is about 7 miles behind Arnaud Boissy, again a local Vendée skipper in 17th. Further down the table then, Didac Costa in 20th, Koji Shiraishi catching Didac just now. He is only 8 miles behind Didac. Koji doing 16.6 knots and Didac, well, doing 15.5, so that's a little bit of a battle which we're going to watch tomorrow. Miranda Meron in 23rd, doing quite nicely, 13.6 knots this evening. Ari Husela, super stable, and he's at 56 degrees, or he's quite a bit further north than the rest of the boats have been tracking, but keeping it clean and keeping it easy for him at the moment in 26th. So that's the standings this evening. Tomorrow my guest will be Thomas Cardran, who's a close friend of Benjamin Dutroux, an ex-collaborator with Emirates Team New Zealand. So he will be with us on the plateau tomorrow. Sorry, any questions then do post them on our social media channels. We'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, Pip here is explaining her weather situation in this video this evening.
Christmas was a lot of fun, but fairly short-lived for me. I've still got the decos up, but straight back to work. We've got some fairly hard sailing to do. Got a nasty little front coming up behind me, which has been worrying me for quite a few days. And I thought I'd just share with you what my plan is and what exactly that looks like to me, what's been on my mind. So here we go. Here is the weather overlaid onto the chart, so you can just see the outline of Tasmania there and New Zealand there, and I am the orange boat there. So this represents 9 o'clock UTC today, and this low pressure system is the one that I'm concerned about. So you can see it's behind me, but if we advance the forecast on, you see that the system is developing, so it's getting deeper, and the colours around it are going from yellow to orange, which means the breeze is going up, increasing around it. And then as we keep advancing forward, you can see that the low pressure drops down to the south, But here, do you see that band of orange? So that is the front associated with the low pressure, and there's a lot of wind on that front, and that is what I am running away from. So we can see, we just keep advancing forwards. You can see that that front is moving west to east, pretty much chasing me as I head down to New Zealand. So the aim of the game then is to stay ahead of that front. I think there could be 40, maybe 50 knots of wind in it at the worst place. And my routing at the moment puts me about 150 miles ahead of it, which isn't that much. There's not that much margin for error. So today I've been pushing Medallia as hard as I can, and I will carry on really for the next, it's going to be about 3 days of hard slog. Just really focused on getting the most speed, making no mistakes, doing nothing that will cause me to slow down or get tangled up with that front. And hopefully that will take me all the way past New Zealand and then the anti-meridian. But there's a few days of hard slog ahead.
So a lot on the line for Pip here over the next few days, as indeed there is here in Les Sables d'Olonne. No margin for error. We've got Storm Bella arriving over the next few days. Join us tomorrow for our live then, 12:30 UTC, 13:30. See you then.